All right, let's dive right into this. We're going to explore a pretty provocative theory about the origins of Christianity. The source material we're looking at puts forward a radical idea that the version of Jesus and his message we all know today was, well, intentionally changed. So, let's start with the huge question that this whole idea hinges on. What if the entire religious structure we've built around Jesus was never the point? We're going to dig into the claim that the version of Christianity most of us are familiar with wasn't designed to reveal a truth, but to actually hide one, a much deeper, more personal truth.
According to this perspective, Jesus' real mission wasn't to be worshipped as some external savior. Nope. The idea is that he was meant to be a catalyst, an activator, to wake up a divine power that's lying dormant inside every single one of us. This completely reframes him, not as a figure to be worshipped, but as a guide for our own self-realization.
So, if he wasn't trying to build a new religion, then what was the original message, right? Well, the source material paints a very different picture, a picture of a teacher whose core message was all about inner transformation, not external rules and devotion.
And this really lays out the two versions. On one side, you've got the religious mascot, kind of distant, sanitized, a figure who demands belief in him for salvation. But on the other side, you have the cosmic awakener, a Middle Eastern mystic who saw divinity in everyone, even outcasts, and taught that awakening comes from direct, inner knowing, not just belief. This quote really gets to the heart of the whole argument. The claims that a simple, powerful invitation to walk a path of self-discovery, follow me, was twisted by institutions into a command for passive adoration, worship me. And that single shift is seen as the moment a revolutionary message was turned into a religion of control. So you have to ask, how did this original message get lost? Or, as this viewpoint claims, how was it actively suppressed? Well, the argument points a finger directly at the Roman Empire and its role in shaping what Christianity would become for the next 2,000 years.
Okay, so there are three pivotal moments here. First, in 312 AD, Emperor Constantine sees Christianity as a powerful tool to unify his crumbling empire. This leads directly to the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, where a bunch of bishops got together to standardize everything. And after that, any gospels that taught about this inner divinity were labeled heretical and systematically hunted down and destroyed.
And here's the core difference in what they taught. The official gospels that made the cut, they focus on salvation through faith in an external God. But the suppressed gospels, they emphasize salvation through inner knowledge or gnosis, teaching that the kingdom of heaven isn't a place you go when you die. It's a state of consciousness inside you, and that anyone can achieve what they call Christ consciousness.
This quote from the suppressed Gospel of Thomas just captures the essence of that other view perfectly. Salvation isn't something that's given to you from the outside. It's something you unearth from within. It's an active process of bringing your own inner light, your own divinity, into the world.
But here's where the theory gets really interesting. The argument is that even with all the suppression, three incredibly powerful activation codes managed to survive, hidden in plain sight, right inside the official Bible itself.
These three keys aren't just presented as, memorable phrases. They're described as consciousness technologies, actual, practical tools for triggering your own spiritual awakening. Let's break each one down. Okay, the first code is all about the phrase, I am. The argument is that this isn't just a statement of existence, it's an invocation. It's the creative power of the divine itself. In fact, it's the very name of God given to Moses in the Old Testament.
So, when Jesus says this perspective argues he's not claiming to be the only one who is divine. He's demonstrating a universal principle. He's basically teaching that by consciously using the phrase, I am, anyone can connect with and embody that timeless, divine nature that's already inside them. The second code is maybe the most direct challenge to institutional religion you can find. It completely changed the location of the kingdom of heaven. It's not a future place you hope to get into, it's a state of being you can access right here, right now.
And this verse is seen as a literal instruction, not a nice metaphor. It's saying, point blank, that the ultimate spiritual reality, the source of all peace, all power, it's not out there somewhere. It is an intrinsic part of your own consciousness.
And this final code, this one is presented as just a staggering promise. It's a direct statement about the untapped potential lying inside every single human being. Now, this is crucial.
The argument here is that Jesus wasn't setting a limit on what we can do, he was setting a baseline. His miracles weren't supposed to be things we just stand back and admire. They were meant to be a preview, a demonstration of what is possible for anyone who fully awakens to their own divine nature.
So finally, the source material connects all of these ancient codes to what it describes as a massive spiritual shift that is happening all around us today.
This perspective suggests we're living in a great remembering. You see it everywhere, right? People are leaving traditional institutions in droves, looking for direct, personal, spiritual experiences. And they're using technology, the internet, to find other people who feel the exact same way, which is accelerating this whole process. This view also completely reinterprets old prophecies, like the number 144,000 from the Book of Revelation. The idea is that this isn't a literal headcount of who gets saved. It's a symbolic number, representing a kind of critical mass of souls who vibrate at the specific frequency of this awakened Christ consciousness.
And all of this leads to a total redefinition of the second coming. It's not about one person returning from the clouds. In this view, it's a collective, internal event. The mass awakening of that divine spark, that Christ consciousness, inside millions of us all at once, transforming the world from the inside out.
And that's where we're left, with this final thought from the source material. It makes you wonder, is the decline we see in traditional religion really a loss of faith? Or is it maybe the sign that something new is being born? Or maybe that something very, very old is finally being remembered?